Hello, everyone, and I hope you're all well. Welcome to another edition of BSL Blethers. But before I do that, I should introduce myself. My name's Avril Hepner, and I'm from the BDA. Tonight's topic in the BSL Blethers is going to be it's vegan, vegan, veganuary. Now, what that is this is the month of January, and we've just added the word vegan. And the reason this month has been picked is to try and raise awareness of what veganism is to the people in the public. So we are absolutely delighted this evening that we have three guests joining us to talk about their own experience. I'm sure some of you will remember last year when we were doing BSL Blethers, we had veganism as a topic, and there were some people who were watching it. So we want to look back and look forwards as well. So our first person today is going to be Emma. Hello, Emma.
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here.
Emma, what's your sign name?
Hi, so my name is Emma, and this is my sign name.
Lovely. And how long have you been vegan?
I've been vegan for 5 years now. In fact, I'm celebrating this month.
Oh, well done.
So it was this month was the reason I turned vegan. I thought I'd just give it a go because of Veganuary.
Lovely. I've got more questions for you, but I'll save them for later. Our next guest is James Barnes-Miller.
Hello.
Hi, James. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure, my name's James, and I became vegan just about a year ago.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I decided I'd do that because actually I was watching the BSL Blethers last year, and I felt like I was in need of a change. I wanted to do something a bit
Wow.
different, pep things up a bit. And I was watching the BSL Blethers and thought, do you know what? I'm going to do that. But I had loads of meat stuff in the house, still in my cupboards and my freezer and whatever. So I had a bit of a meat through January, got rid of all of that. And then the 1st of February, all my
Oh, wow, James.
vegan.
Well done. I've got one more guest to introduce, and you may have seen the poster where we were introducing Shauna, who was supposed to join us tonight. Unfortunately, Shauna's not well, but we have been so lucky. We have Lewis here, who Lewis Francis, who is gladly stepped in for Shauna
Hi,
tonight. So hello,
hello.
Lewis. Again, Lewis, can you follow on from Emma and James and tell me when you became vegan?
Hi,
And if
yes. My name's Lewis. This is my sign name. I've been vegan for nearly 2 years. Before that, I was vegetarian. So altogether, it's been quite a while, really.
Wow. So, I feel quite honoured. We have three people been through the vegan journey. So could I ask, starting maybe from you with you, Lewis, what motivated you to become vegan in the first place?
Well, as I say, I was vegetarian, and then I decided I'd become vegan really because of animal welfare, also because of health, and finally because of the environment.
Emma, the same question to you, please.
Yeah, I've got a similar response to that. I became vegan because I noticed that dairy didn't really agree with me. It wasn't really working for my body. So I started to clear dairy products from my diet. The most difficult thing, of course, was cheese. That's been a favorite since childhood, but that was a hard decision. But I decided if I gave up cheese, I could become vegan. And honestly, I felt a lot healthier since. I didn't want to lose weight or anything like that. I'm not
Okay.
particularly bothered about that sort of thing, but I do feel healthier. And I know what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body. Um, and I haven't missed anything really particularly. I don't crave anything or anything like that. I cook fresh every day. I know what's in my food, and that's important to me.
So interesting. James, the sort of same question really, but you only started becoming a vegan last year, which is great, and also it shows you that BSL Blethers motivated you to make a change. But could I ask you, did is there any negatives or positives regarding becoming a vegan now?
Well, the positives are after I became vegan and I got rid of meat. I found I've slept a lot better. I sleep
Really?
much better. Yeah, I sleep more deeply, and I feel like I'm more alert. I felt like meat sort of weighed me down. Like when I ate meat, it felt heavy in my
Oh,
body. Couldn't
okay.
sleep because it was difficult to digest. Um, and then once I got rid of that from my diet, I've slept so much better. I feel
Ah,
alert. I feel happier in myself. For the cons, on the negative side, um, I think if you eat meat, you feel full very quickly. When I became vegan, I'd eat something and be hungry again really quickly afterwards. So I found myself eating constantly for
ah.
a wee while.
Did anyone else have similar experience?
Yeah, I did. I did. Um, I had to kind of do a meal plan for the week because I wanted to get a kind of routine. People say, you mostly get most of your protein from meat. So when you turn vegetarian or vegan, in my case, you have to really consider where your protein's coming from and what alternatives you might use. So there's soya, obviously, as well that
Yeah.
you can use instead. So I was looking at soya products. I was looking at protein, um, all kinds of different forms of soya. You can get that in all kinds of forms. Green vegetables like kale, cabbage, spinach, beans as well also have a lot of protein in them.
Oh,
And nuts and seeds also contain a lot of protein, but tofu is important as well. Now that's a Chinese product. They've used it for a long time. You often find it in Chinese food like stir fries. You can also grill it. You can do all kinds of things with it. You can be very creative with it. Um, So a vegan or vegetarian person needs to follow a kind of routine. You need to plan your meals a bit. I didn't really go for books to begin with. I would just get things out of my cupboard and cook from that. I'm lucky I can do that kind of thing. I'm quite creative with my meals, but you do have to monitor your protein, and that does make you feel full.
that's so interesting because obviously James has been doing that and checking his protein intake as well. Could I ask all of you to really clarify, or what's the difference between vegetarianism and veganism? Because in some ways they look very similar.
Well, as I say, I was vegetarian to begin with. That's how I started. So, as a vegetarian, what I would eat was tomatoes and cabbage and salad and all of those kinds of things. But also, I would include dairy
Or
products.
like milk.
Yes, milk, but also cheese, butter, all of those kinds of things can be included in the vegetarian diet. Now, when you turn vegan, on the other hand, there's no dairy involved in that. It's just vegetables and that sort of thing.
Ah, that's clear. So any dairy products are more likely to be in the vegetarian camp. They certainly wouldn't be in the vegan if you were taking dairy products. There's something else that I want to just double check, and I've been noticing this more and more. Products that are describing themselves as plant-based, and what does that mean? Is that something new, or is it a plant? I don't understand that.
Okay, plant-based. These products are for people who want to um, eat, plants as part of their diet. So they might be vegetarian, um, and plant-based products might also be suitable for vegans. But vegans tend to not wear any animal clothing or anything like that, so it's a little bit different.
So can I just check? So plant-based, is that a tomato? Is that tomato plant-based?
No, plant-based means that whatever you eat or drink comes from a plant. Originally
Ah,
comes from a plant. So your plant-based product could be soya, it could be made from beans, and that could have been made into a burger, maybe, or it could have been made into milk. So plant-based just means it originally comes from a plant.
Ah,
So there's no difference with that. But nowadays we just have lots of different names for different kinds of products. So there are things that are meat and dairy that don't have any vegetables in them. There are people who eat fish and vegetables but no meat. There are people who eat only plants. So there are all these kind of
okay.
various diet options. So plant-based is just one of those options. So it is really kind of vegan food, yeah.
Okay. Because I've saw that being used. The term plant-based.
Yeah, I've got some
Ah,
examples here.
yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Okay. Right. So plant-based means it comes from a plant. Okay, that's clear. So now when I go around the supermarket and I see these things, I'll understand clearly what it means. Okay. Thanks, guys. I know that we've already discussed um you becoming a vegan, but could I ask you why is it important to you? Why did you have to make that change?
Lewis, do you want to go first? Yeah, it was really important for me because I know that there are animals out there suffering. So I didn't want to eat meat. And then my lifestyle, I think, just really improved when I got rid of meat.
James, what about yourself? Why is being a vegan important to you?
Really, it wasn't particularly about animals for me. It was more about me. It was more about improving my own health, improving my life. I feel happier. I feel better eating
Okay.
vegan. So that's why I've chosen it.
Emma,
Yeah, a couple of reasons, really. I mean, you've mentioned quite a few already, but the first for me was health. I wanted to know, I want to know what it is I'm putting in my body. I want to know what I'm eating because that makes me who I am. So I want to look after that part of me. And I did used to eat meat a long, long time ago, but I started to realize that I didn't know where this meat was coming from. I didn't know what had happened in the process of the meat coming from the animal to my plate. And when I started to investigate that, I really didn't like what I
mm,
found. Um, so that process is an issue. Also, the animal welfare, how the animals are looked after, is an issue, and also the supermarkets as well. You know, are these animals grass fed? Have they been killed humanely, or have they suffered pain? You know, it's very difficult when you're choosing something from a supermarket shelf to know all of that information. So I didn't want to get involved in that really. And I have a deaf colleague at work who was vegan and has been vegan for a very long
mhm.
time. And I chatted with them, and some of the answers I got from them were quite thought provoking, things I really hadn't thought about. And the more I became aware of what was going on, the more I thought I should have done this a long time ago.
Oh, thanks, Emma, for sharing that. Thank you. Do you think becoming a vegan has actually changed your life for the better? I mean, you've commented on your sleep's better, you feel healthier inside. I mean, everyone's got very positive experiences.
Yeah, totally positive for me. Um, I wish I'd done it a long time sooner. I mean, I really think the only negative thing is that it is a little bit more time consuming because when you go shopping, you have to be, you know, have to have your wits about you. You have to kind of check products. Um, if you're in a vegan shop, it's great. You can just shop at will and feel comfortable. But when you're in a mainstream supermarket or a mainstream shop, you have to really think about what you're buying. You have to look at the labels, you have to
Absolutely.
read the ingredients. So that can be a bit of an effort sometimes. It can be quite time consuming.
Also, oh, sorry, James.
Yeah, I just wanted to say when we're talking about shopping, it does make a difference. You know, I used to just go into a shop, grab a whole load of stuff and out the door. But as a vegan now, I have to really take my time. I have to look at the shelves. I have to really analyze the products and look for things amongst the products there. So there are lots of things in the shop, but I never used to think about it before. And now I have to think about it more, and it takes more time. It's positive, but it's more of a journey. You know, you learn, you find new foods and new things.
Lewis, are you the same?
Yeah, I find things I've never seen before. I try new things, realize I like them, buy them again. So, yeah, it's a learning journey. And I think, over time, you get used to the products that you like and you remember the ones that you want to go
I
back to.
suppose your horizons open up and you start to see more products as
Oh, I'm
well.
definitely learning new things every day for sure.
I've heard that it can be quite tough for vegans, that they have to read the labels, and there's
Yeah.
lots of reading involved because you have to
Mhm.
check for information. But what information are you looking for, really?
Well, it's true, really. It's true because some of the labeling isn't clear. Let me show you an example of that. So, see this here. Can you see that?
Oh, yep, I can see it. Yep. There's lots of information there.
So that's been stamped as vegan, and that means it's approved by a body called the Vegan Society.
Oh,
And
didn't
that
know
means
that.
that they have monitored that, they've checked the ingredients, and they're satisfied that that product is absolutely vegan. There's no milk, there's no animal product in there. So they give it their stamp of approval. Now, that logo is sometimes big, but sometimes it's really tiny, and you have to search the packaging for it. Sometimes it's on the reverse, you have to look in the ingredients. Sometimes you think you've got something, um, and sometimes you can find things that are vegan that don't say they are. So here's my favorite. You're getting a sneaker into
Ah, bring
my
it closer.
here.
Oh, digestives.
Yeah, oh,
So
I
they're
love
vegan?
them. I love them. These are just from Tesco. It's the only one in the world that does the vegan one. Dark chocolate digestives, and they have no logo on them. So there's no Vegan
Okay.
Society logo because these are made in a factory where other
Ah,
that might not be vegan are also handled. So there might be
okay.
milk in the atmosphere or milk products in the atmosphere, so they can't be stamped. But if you read the ingredients, there's nothing in there that isn't vegan. So as a vegan, you can decide at your own risk whether to buy that product. Now, if you had a milk allergy or something like that, you might not want to take that product because there might have been something in the environment that could be in the packet. But if you're vegan, it's great.
That's so interesting. So there's one thing that's just happens to be vegan. Is there any food products? James, have you got something?
Yeah, it's interesting when you're looking at all of these products and you're reading all the labels and you find something. You might find something by a company and then you try another product by them and then you find that they're also like this, for example.
Okay, lentil soup.
Now, this company, Heinz, very well known, everybody knows Heinz, right? So they make
Okay.
lots of soup. So their lentil soup happens to be vegan. There's no milk or anything in there.
Oh,
So, their tomato soup,
oh,
Heinz tomato soup,
famous
very
one.
famous.
Yep.
Yeah, that has got milk in it. So I can't eat that. So you do have to be careful. You have to look at each different product.
Ah, Lewis, do you have an example?
Yeah, here's mine. Can you all see that?
Whoa, Bourneville chocolate.
Oh, I love it. When I was a kid, my mum, this was my mum's favourite. She used to always eat Bourneville, and I thought it tasted disgusting at that time. But now I've got older, I love it. And it's vegan. I read the
Wow.
ingredients, nothing in there. Soya. So I love it. One of my favourites now.
Is there anything else that you have that you could show the audience? What's that, Emma? Love raw cream and wafer chalk bar? Oh, unusual.
It's delicious.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody told me that it was their favourite chocolate. They said it's really like Kinder Bueno. You know those Kinder Bueno bars with the wafer? That
Uh-huh.
sort of thing?
Yeah.
It's just like that. And I've only just found it, and it's very dangerous, I have to tell you. Honestly, honestly,
Eating
2022.
too
Oh,
much.
I'm never going to make it to 2023 because I'm going to eat too many of these. But Love Raw is what it's called. Now, I saw that and I thought, what does that mean? Raw? Why raw? Is that raw fruit or raw seeds or what is that? But it has raw nuts with raw cacao and wafers. Oh, it looks
Ah.
great. And honestly, it's so healthy. It's chocolate, but it's really healthy chocolate.
Oh, wow. We have been getting questions coming in quick and fast. And could I just double check? What would be the substitutes if you became vegan for, say, coffee? Like a milk substitute. Ah, see that, James. Almond milk. Okay.
That's mine. But look at the barista logo. It's the barista one.
Oh,
I
I
like the
see the
barista
barista.
one. This is perfect. Yeah, everyone has their own favorite. But if you
Oh,
like lattes,
latte for me. Yep.
cappuccinos, yeah, then you want to be able to use something that froths up. And this barista one is beautiful. You can use it in your coffee maker. It makes a nice little whip on the top there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, it's really lovely. So
You
you
can
can
make
get
it
your
make
own
me
lattes.
one day, James.
I
Anything
have
else?
something similar. Yeah, this one for me.
LYT?
I don't like the almond milk.
Oh,
Not a fan. Not a fan of that one. So this one, Oatly, is the one that I like best. That's the one that I like to drink with coffee. That's my preferred one. But everyone has their favourite milk.
yeah,
Uh,
you're right. Everyone's
Tried
tastes are
rice
different.
milk. Oh, it was horrible. Didn't like that. It's really thin. Um, but other people might really like it. Hazelnut milk is another
Okay.
choice. So there are loads of milk out, loads of different milks out there. Really, there's a pink milk now. I mean, I don't. There's pea milk. Sorry, I don't know how they make milk from peas, but they do. So they're inventing whole
Goodness.
ranges of new milks.
What about yourself, Lewis?
I always head for the special offer. Whatever's on special offer, that's the one I like. But again, it's you have to take your time when you're shopping. There are nut milks, there are oat milks. I like
Mhm.
oats personally, but organic milk can taste good. Um, and it depends on the shop, really. It depends where you're at. I like just variety. I don't like to kind of stick to one thing.
Wow.
Variety is the spice of life.
Well, if you bear with me for 2 seconds, I want to just get a question from the audience to put to everyone. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. We have a question from Rachel coming in. It'll soon appear at the bottom of the screen. And Rachel's question is, would you order food from KFC? I refused. It's mixed in the same oil. Emma.
That is a really good question, actually, Rachel. Um, when you go to these so-called fast food restaurants like Burger King and KFC and that kind of place, they often offer what they call vegan food, but I'm always uncertain about where it's been cooked. If they can tell you that it's cooked in a separate fryer or on a separate griddle, which is the way they cook it, the way they flip
Mhm.
the burgers. If they've got a separate one for vegans, that's fine. I mean, I'm deaf and also I don't have time to, administer a questionnaire to every shop assistant I go to every fast food restaurant. So that's why I prefer to cook myself. I don't really go to fast food
That
shops.
makes sense, Emma. Lewis.
Yeah, if I could just come in, like you said, if I want to go to a restaurant or a cafe, I love going to cafes. I look for vegan cafes. So it means that when I go in, I can just switch off. I can relax knowing that all the food is vegan, maybe organic. Um, maybe it's a local, it doesn't have too many air miles attached. And there are lots of these restaurants all around. You can find your local one.
I mean, your apps makes perfect sense to me. I suppose you would feel the most comfortable in a cafe that you could be self-assured that everything was vegan.
Absolutely. And there are more and more of them now. You can see them if you're walking down the street. There are cafes like um, a lot of the major branded coffee companies. You can go in and you can say, what are your vegan choices? And they'll have a specific menu, or they'll ask you what milk you prefer, and you can order your coffee. So there's much more choice nowadays. The only negative thing, I suppose, is that, if you're in a city, obviously there's loads of choice. You've got restaurants,
Absolutely.
you've got, lots of places where you can order vegan food. If you're in the countryside, I think it's a little bit harder. Your choices are more limited. You might have to do a little bit more research online to try and find, the outlets that you can comfortably go to. So if you just rock up somewhere, you're a bit more at risk that you might not find something vegan on their
Yeah.
menu. So it's worth doing your research.
But then it's spreading.
Well, and you only eat once a day, so eat when you're hungry.
Oh, James, you'll need to get a backpack with full of protein for you when you're eating all the time. We have another question from one of our viewers, and this question is from Kath. So Kath's question is, are there any additives in plant-based food? Yes or no?
Well, it varies. There can be, yeah. So additives are often added to preserve food. Here's an example. Let me find something here. Here you go.
Okay. Oxo, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Oxo.
this is OXO. So OXO cubes. Now these are stock cubes, so you use these to make, they're wrapped in foil to keep them fresh.
Yeah, quite tightly as
And,
well.
and they also have additives to keep them fresh. If they didn't have additives, they'd just deteriorate really quickly. So you often find additives in things. The only way to avoid them is to really cook things from raw. So if you have a fridge full of vegetables and you add some rice and pasta or something, then you can make food yourself that doesn't have preservatives. If you have like basil sauce, tomato and basil sauce, you can buy those jars. They've got preservatives in. You can just make your own tomato and basil sauce. Put some tomato in a pan, put some basil in, boil it up until it's reduced. You've got your own homemade sauce, and it'll be better and cheaper than the stuff in the jar. And also it's fun. You can play with your ingredients. You can be creative. It's nice.
Thanks, Emma. We have another question coming in. And this question is from Moira Ross. Should be appearing on our stream soon. So Moira's wondering if there's any vegan pasta or handmade pasta. Just asking the question because of eggs being such a dominant
I
part
know
of making lasagna.
any of the dry pastas that you buy, they're made from durum wheat, I think. It's called durum wheat.
Okay, Durham. Thank you.
They don't have any egg in them at all. So all of that dry pasta is okay. If you're looking at fresh pasta and it's soft and fresh, then that will very likely have eggs in. So that's the distinction there. Obviously, if you're making your pasta at home, you can do whatever you want with it. I haven't tried that yet. No.
Oh, you just need to get one of the wee pasta machines and slide the pasta through it. But I have noticed that I've seen products that said, vegan pasta. So, and it's actually said without egg sometimes as well.
Again, check the ingredients though. I was just about to say the same thing. Durum wheat, yeah, great. But, maybe it's vegetarian, maybe not. My local Asda, for example, They have a no egg fridge. Well, they have one no egg
Ah,
product and one product with egg. So don't assume,
that's
always
good
check.
advice, Emma. James.
Yeah, just turn the product over and look at the ingredients. Normally, if it does have egg in, it'll
Oh,
be in bold, so it'll be easy to see. Also, milk will be in bold, so you can spot those easily. You can
that's
see
good
the ingredients
advice.
more easily.
Emma.
Yeah, but and this was a bit of a learning curve for me as a vegan. I had always assumed that you could just read the bold things, so eggs, milk would come up bold in the ingredients. Now they're listed in as well as a bold thing because some people have an allergy to that, so that comes up
Ah,
as well. So anything bold is things that people often have allergies to. But what won't come up in bold is meat. Now I love sweeties. Honestly, I'm forever buying sweeties, and quite often I'll buy things. There's nothing in bold on the ingredients. When I get home, I'll see that right at the bottom there's beef gelatin.
ah,
So that it keeps things firm and solid. That's why I
uh-huh.
love it.
Okay.
So that means I can't eat it, but it's not in
Ah.
bold. So again, don't assume. And that was my fault because I was just going by what was bold in the
So,
ingredients, like the milk.
ye yeah, so it's going back to what yous have said earlier. It's really important to really drill down in the ingredients. I'm just looking for another question. And our next person is a good question coming in. They've all been good, but this one's from Andrew McCafferty. And his question is, I wonder if becoming a vegan is a way of helping have more of good health if you're diabetic. Just wants to know, so if you're a diabetic, would that help? Would it be okay to go vegan?
Well, for me personally, I ate meat before, and I kind of had good health, but my cholesterol levels were pretty high when I did a blood test.
Oh,
So I was at risk of becoming diabetic because I was eating too much meat. And that's why I changed to vegetarian. My cholesterol
ah,
level dropped. So when I had a blood test, my cholesterol levels had evened out to more normal levels because I started being vegetarian. Um, so again, it's worth, if you change your eating plan, maybe have a blood test. I mean, I don't know about the sugar issue if you are diabetic.
okay. So just to clarify, it could help people if you become vegan. It could, if you were diabetic, it could help with their health
It might
regarding
help. If
cholesterol. Is
they're
that
diabetic,
right?
it lowers your cholesterol. That's right. Yeah. If you're already diabetic, though, and you become vegan, I think it can improve your health. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I think everyone should always check with their GP first.
Yes, I was going to say always talk to your GP. And also, being vegan is fine if you follow the right mixture of fruits and veg in a healthy way. Now, some people go, oh, vegan, that's easy. It's potato waffles. I'll have those 5 times a week.
Oh,
Grand. And then maybe Saturday night, I'll have pasta and this is not a healthy diet. It's not well balanced. So if you are turning to vegan, what you have to remember is the rainbow, a vegetable rainbow. Make sure you pick vegetables and fruit of all different colors on your plate. So don't eat the same color food like bread or pasta or waffles. You need to really eat a variety of
I
food
love
to
that.
manage your health. Yeah. Whether it reduces diabetes, I couldn't say.
I don't know Emma, but I love the rainbow. That's really great. But I think what we would be saying to everybody who's watching is always seek professional advice. And that means you go to your GP, your doctor, if you're considering changing anything. Okay, we have another question coming in, and it's from Philippa. Her question is, my oat milk is from milk and more always goes off. Saying her oat milk compared to
I
normal
don't
milk
know. I
always
don't
goes
know
off
because
quickly.
I eat cereal every day, so I get through my milk pretty quickly. I think if you're only drinking tea and taking a little bit, I don't know. Do others have the experience of
Emma?
Can I clarify? Milk and more, I'm imagining, is is the delivery service. Do they deliver to your house? So this is fresh oat milk. Is it coming in a glass bottle? I hope I'm right.
Ah,
If that's the issue, I don't know how long it takes the company to deliver the milk, how long the milk has stood in the bottle
ah,
before it arrives on your doorstep. I don't know. What I do know is that my Oatly I can leave in the fridge for about a week,
oh, a
something
week.
like that, without any problems at all. I always do the smell test. If it smells all right, you're good to go. If it
Mhm.
smells a bit iffy, maybe not. Um, but the glass bottle is a different kind of delivery system, and I don't know what their
Okay,
supply chain is like.
thanks for that, Emma. There's another question's come in, and this question is from Carol Doherty regarding budgeting for being a vegan. Is a vegan budget very expensive compared to non-vegan? Anybody who wants to go
Mm.
first?
Yes,
Lewis.
yes. Well, in my experience, I used to shop for meat, and I'd spend about 70, £80 a week. When I became vegan, that price dropped because the meat was the expensive thing and I wasn't buying that. Um, Also, the best place to buy fresh vegetables and fruit is the market. So that keeps your costs down as well. Or, go for special offers, pick and choose. So it can be expensive if you want it to be.
Well, but if you're a good shopper, then you can do it cheaply, I think, James.
Yeah, often the supermarkets brand things as vegan. Um, and often, the vegetarian or vegan things can be slightly more expensive even than the meat, because it's more of a sort of, I suppose, more of a rare product. Fewer people buy it, whereas meat and burgers and, those kinds of things are going to sell a lot of. There are racks and racks of those kinds of things in the supermarket, so they can stack them high, sell them cheap. Whereas with the vegans, maybe you need to kind of do a little bit more research to find out where to go to
Yeah.
get those prices.
Law of demand and supply. Emma.
Also, if you're buying things that are like, let me think, maybe like puddings, um, you can get really sweet puddings that are vegan and they can be
Oh,
pretty pricey. I'm trying to think of an example now. There's one brand that has a kind of silver band around it, and the puddings are, they're
yeah, I
amazing.
know exactly the
Um,
ones.
Now, they're more expensive for vegans because the vegan ingredients are more expensive than non-vegan. So you just use them for a treat. But I think you learn how to build your own vegan budget over time.
Mhm.
And you're right, special offers, shop around. Um, Aldi is pretty good, actually. They have quite a lot of vegan products, and
Okay.
especially this month. I don't know whether February to December they'll have quite as many. In December, they sold out of a lot of their vegan things because people wanted,
Ah,
all of their vegan Christmas stuff. So make sure you know where to shop, target the bargains. Um, I've gone and found vegan pizzas have completely sold out. So yeah, and all of their vegan cheeses. So you just have to look around in your area. I live in a kind of quite a meaty sort of area. A lot of people around me seem to eat meat. Um, so I feel like a bit of a lone vegan on the hunt for food sometimes.
well, that's fantastic. We have another question from our audience, and this question's from Celia Hume. And the question to each one of you is, what's your favourite vegan meal? James, can you go first?
I don't have a particular favorite, I like all sorts of things.
Oh, can you not think of just
Yeah.
one thing?
Um, well, you can get chickpeas. So lentils and chickpeas mixed together, and then you chop things in,
Wow,
vegetables and all sorts of things with a
sounds
spice.
lovely.
That can be really nice.
Lewis.
Yeah, homemade and especially spicy. Homemade spicy is definitely the best thing. I enjoy that every time. Homemade's
Emma?
the best. I've got two really. The first of mine is a Thai green curry. I love Thai curry.
Oh,
Just
wow.
throwing all the ingredients in, vegetables and coconut milk and simmering that all up. Really lovely. And my second favorite is a mushroom. You know, you get those large portobello mushrooms. They're really big
Oh,
mushrooms, not
yeah.
the tiny little ones. They're great, huge, fat ones. Huge mushrooms. I like to grill those with garlic. Yeah, yes, you're on it. You're on it. Those massive ones. Portobello mushrooms, I think they're called, aren't they? You're right. You're right, Lewis. Grill those with a bit of garlic, bit of
Okay.
vegan cheese. Oh, lovely. Stick them in a burger. Fantastic
Wow.
in a
Oh,
burger.
Emma, I'll be over to your house soon. Oh, in fact, we'll all be over, Emma. That sounds, my mouth's watering. Oh, cannot wait. Could I ask you another question? We've been talking about food this evening, but there's other products within the house that are also suitable for people who are vegan. Do you have any examples you can show people at home? And right, okay, I know you're excited, Emma, so here goes.
Let me see. This one?
Is that the one that's the same as Lewis? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's that? Is it hand gel? Oh no,
Yeah.
body wash. Oh, I see.
Body wash for a couple of reasons. It's vegan and also not tested on animals, and it's good for the
Ah,
environment. So when it goes down into, down your sink, down your drain, and out into the sea, it's not going to damage the environment. So I like to pick this one
well,
because
that's good.
it's called Faith in Nature. Um, Also, I've got vegan boots. Want to see my vegan boots?
Boots. Okay. Really? They're vegan?
They are. They look like they're leather, but they're not.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, you have to again look in the shops or do a little search, word search, to on your internet browser to look for vegan shoes. You can get fake
Uh-huh.
leather or other products, different synthetic materials that are not leather. And so that means that I know no animals have come to harm. And my
Oh,
sofa
that's good.
is the same. I have a vegan
Sofa?
sofa.
A sofa?
I do. I do. I went to the shop and I was explaining that I didn't want to have a leather sofa. And they understood my reasons. And, they took me over to this sofa and said, vegan. I was like, really? And it's faux, so fake.
Ah.
So I've got a vegan sofa. I can sit in peace knowing that no animals have been
Oh,
harmed.
wow. James, do you have something? Oh, no, Lewis.
Ah, yes, I have some favorites to show you. So here's
Okay.
one or two there. So this is washing up liquid. And this, I use
Uh-huh.
this sponge.
Just a sponge.
Yep.
Ah.
So it doesn't harm the planet at all. When you've finished it and you throw it away, it's worn out, it just biodegrades. So again,
Lovely.
really gentle on the environment. And this is a clothes wash for the washing machine. And a toilet
Oh,
cleaner. Yeah.
so is the brand Eco?
I don't know why I'm showing you
Wow.
all of these. Eco.
I'm sure you've got more, Lewis. Oh,
How about
here we
this?
go. Oh,
I love
shower
this.
gel.
Yeah, it's a body wash. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fabulous. It's got the logo there as well.
It has, yeah. And it's cruelty free as well.
Oh, good.
Because I buy products that are not only vegan but are also cruelty free. What does the cruelty free logo look like? It's a little
Oh,
wee rabbit. Can you see him here?
I do. There, it's there. The rabbit with the kind of circle going round it. Yep,
I've got
let
one
me
here
see
as
it.
well that you can see there.
Can I see it there? Oh, that's like two rabbits fighting. Yeah, okay, got that. So that means no cruelty to animals.
This is a hand wash as well.
Oh, hand washes now, everybody's got them, for their home.
There are loads of
So,
products out there, really. And here's some clothing. You see this
okay,
t-shirt?
do better,
And on the back here,
ethics. So, what's that about?
do better.
Why?
Well, it's about improving life, kind of
Oh,
recycling,
sorry, of
looking after the
course.
environment, looking after nature, to preserve nature for the future. So it's a way of looking after
Ah,
ourselves, really.
right, I've get you. So it's not just about me doing better, it's all doing better together. So have you just got the one item of clothing?
I've got this one.
Oh, I love that with the animals on it. It looks amazing. The material looks interesting as well, and that's definitely vegan.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, it is. And I've got another one as well. How about this one?
Oh, I love that. That is wonderful.
I've got loads of them. I've got loads. I could go on.
So the material, what about the quality of the material? Is it good quality?
Let me show you. So I bought this from the vegan festival last summer. It's called Vegan Camps Out. And I saw this on a stall. I was looking at t-shirts, and it's organic, 100% organic cotton. And the feel of it, honestly, if you could feel this, it's just beautiful. Great quality. It's sustainable. It's going to last in the, after wash after wash. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's lovely just to know about things like that. James, what about yourself? Have you got any clothes or things that you found?
Yeah, what I find is interesting is that before I became vegan, I didn't really think about these kinds of things. But I often bought things that were 100% cotton, and I'd make a beeline for them because what I found was when I washed things that were made of other fabrics, I always shrunk them, Whereas if I put things that were cotton in the wash, they'd be fine, they'd survive. So when I became vegan and I found out more about all this kind of stuff, I found I'd been buying 100% cotton anyway. So I'd actually been buying vegan clothes. So I've got an accidentally vegan wardrobe, I think.
Oh, well done. Well, you've all been talking about clothes, but I found this. Are you familiar with this? Fit
Ah,
Pit.
yeah, it's interesting, this product.
Yeah, Fit Pit. That's what it's called. And do you know, this is just a cream and it's a deodorant. It's very similar to a roll-on, but the texture is beautiful. It prevents you perspiring, and it said it's suitable for vegan. So I've happened to come across this. I've got something else as well, and that's a roll-on, and it says that it's vegan as well. So I've found some shower gel too from the Body Shop, and there seems to be lots more products out there and lots more choice. But could we go back just a wee bit, and that you became vegan, you're eating well, you know about the protein, and you know that becoming vegan you felt better, but how do you manage and look out for your vitamins and things?
Well, meat has B12 in it, which is a really important vitamin. And if you're not eating meat, then B12 can be a difficult thing to find. So I use this. Let me show you.
Okay,
It smells lovely. I wish you could smell it.
just like
Um,
grab a spoon or something.
you put it in things that you're cooking. Like you might stick it in your pasta, or you might sprinkle it on like cheese. So for things where you would use cheese, you use this nutritional yeast. It tastes delicious, honestly. So that's one example.
That's a one solution then. Emma, Marmite.
Marmite.
No, for me.
Marmite's got B6 and B12 in it, so that's also suitable. But also, it's quite important to take multivitamin tablets to make sure that you've got all the vitamins that you need if you're not getting them from your diet. And when you're buying your oat milk or your butter or whatever, try and look for the word what's the word? Fortified. So it's an additive. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think I've got anything. I don't think it has it on my oat milk. Oh, it does. But I don't know if you can see it because it's in tiny writing. Can you raise that package a little bit, Emma?
Yeah. Oh, I can see it. Yep.
So you know that that's got vitamins added. Oh, fortified. Sorry, if it's fortified with minerals and vitamins, then there are good things added.
Thank you for that. Could I ask? Well, how do I start? We'll just be really straight then. Toileting. What's your number twos like? Are they less smelly? More regular? Are you going more often? I mean, honestly, I had to ask the same question last year because that's what people wanted to know about. So if you're happy to share.
I'm happy with poo talk. That's everybody who knows me knows that I'm good with toilet talk. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Actually, my bowel movements improved. I had less straining, less constipation, and much easier movements. I'm not sure that they were maybe a little bit more regular because I was eating more often. So I think more regular and easier to pass compared to when I was eating meat, where I would often find my bowel movements were quite solid, quite hard. They've definitely improved, I think, for me.
Lewis James?
Yeah. With friends and family, we all used to eat meat, and then after you'd finished, we'd feel quite heavy, quite bloated. With veganism, that is much reduced. I feel much healthier, I feel much fitter. And like Emma, I feel like my bowel movements are satisfactory, and I'm very satisfied. I think I pass very easily.
Come on.
Well, better, you know what I mean?
Okay.
What else to say?
Just having a bit of fun. Just
I've got satisfactory number twos. Very good, yeah.
James and yourself.
Well, what everyone said, really. I feel that my bowel movements pass very easily, very quickly. Yeah,
we're all getting a bit giddy now, guys.
Journey before, until it finally, eventually passed. But now it's just much smoother, much.
What about the smell? Is it the same? Is it different?
I think it's a little smellier. I think it's a bit smellier. I think that's true.
You think it's more smelly, James? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I'm eating more vegetables, and so yeah, I think it's a bit smellier. But it passes very quickly, so that's all good. So very quickly.
You're satisfied.
Get yourself out of the toilet. All good.
Emma, did you want to add something?
So number one, number two, but how about passing wind?
Okay,
what number is that? Number 3.5. I don't know. Yeah, I think we do pass wind a little more because we're eating lentils, we're eating beans, baked beans, we're eating chickpeas. So that produces more gas, let's say, that needs to escape. So that means it can mean that we might be slightly whiffier.
I'm sorry to ask that, but we ask the questions the audience want to know, but thank you guys for participating. Could I ask a question? And it's something that's been on topic recently. We've spoken about food, we've spoken about products, but what I've been noticing now is talking about tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love having tattoos, but I know there's a debate about tattoo artists. Some are not vegan. Emma.
That's right. I love tattoos. I've got 3. I'd like more. I went to a tattoo shop and realized they weren't vegan.
What does that mean, not vegan, though?
Well, let me explain. It's in the inks, you see. So there's animal bones are burnt up. Yeah, actual bones. There's a word. It's called cochineal. The name of this particular dye, and that's crushed beetles.
Oh,
and that
beetles.
creates the colour for the tattoos. So there are lots of various animal products inside tattoo ink, which was a bit disconcerting. But there are vegan tattooists out there, but you have to look for them. And most people, I think, don't know that tattoo inks aren't vegan. I didn't know before. It's a learning curve. You learn something new every day, I tell you.
Oh, well, you'll have to get your tattoos taken off now.
I don't think so. I don't think I'll want them renewed. They're works of art, darling. I'm going to leave them. But in future, I think now I know for the next time, and I'll make sure that I have a vegan tattoo next time round.
Wow. So, think about that now. Maybe tattoo shops should actually be informing their customers. There's maybe a market there, vegan
Absolutely.
tattoos.
Absolutely. And it's the same with nail varnish as well. I like to, I like to have my nails done, like to have a little bit of a varnish. But they've got shellac, and
Okay.
that is not vegan. The thing that makes your nail varnish hard and durable is, again, this crushed beetle stuff. So they're using dead bodies actually to layer
Oh,
up a kind of crusts
thank
on
goodness.
your
I never use nail
nails.
polish.
And so anything with shellac, no. I go for a different option. So no shellac treatments for me.
So interesting. I would never have thought about nail polish or tattoo ink. It's incredible. I'm looking at my list again, and there's so many questions coming in, and time is running out. So I'm trying to see the most popular question. And it seems we've got down to, well, there's one question, because just to let you know, I mean, we have nearly got to the hour. I can't believe it again. So maybe what we should do is there any, if you maybe give a message, is there any message or tip you would like to give, our audience or viewers, if you want to share, maybe thinking about becoming a vegan or maybe a vegan already? So over to Lewis, you go first. What's your message?
What message would I give? I think if we're talking about food, I'd say don't be afraid to try new things. Try it. If you like it, you can have it again. If you don't like it, well, at least you tried. Try something else. Be creative with your cooking. Play with food. Add things. Try it. Buy some cookbooks or have a look online.
Like this one.
Perfect. Absolutely so. Yeah. Just be creative, I'd say. Don't be frightened. There's no harm.
That's great advice, Lewis. I suppose it's just about keeping an open mind and trying new things. James, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, like, as you just said, be open-minded, explore, and enjoy the journey. If you keep an open mind, it's all fun. It's not about being obsessed about a particular thing because you won't enjoy it then. You enjoy your food much more if you look at what options you have, try things, experiment with new things. Don't just try one thing from one shop. Go to a different shop, try something else. They might have the same thing better. Play around, shop around.
Good advice. Emma?
I'd like to agree with what the other two panelists have both said. For me, I think a lot of people think you have to become vegan straight away. You don't. Experiment for a little bit. Maybe try with, having a meat-free Monday. And then having your favorite dish on a Tuesday, maybe having a dairy-free Wednesday. Break yourself in gently. You don't have to dive into this straight away. It's your time, it's your body. Do it the way you want to do it. But do try new things. And if you like them, great. If you don't, then dump them and move on. You tried. And some days, one day you might be like, oh, I really am craving chocolate. I need to eat chocolate. Great, eat the chocolate. Tomorrow's a new day. It's no harm, So just keep trying. And if you keep trying, eventually, if you're thinking about the animals, if you're thinking about the environment, if you're thinking about your health, those are the most important things. And celebrate your successes. Don't beat yourself up because you made a mistake or you broke your intention. Celebrate your successes.
Oh, wise words. Flexibility, open-mindedness, enjoying the journey, explore all of these positive words. We have two questions, and I know we're running out of time, but we've got one question that's come in from, and the question's just about to pop up, and wants to ask everyone. It really, I suppose, Lewis, if we start with you, we're talking about the vegan camp. Can you tell us about the vegan camp out? What's it about?
Oh, sweet. Yeah, of course. So I went along last year. That was my first time to this thing called Vegan Camp Out. I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, it was mind blowing. Honestly, when I got there, I had not seen so many deaf people all set up. They're from everywhere. They're from Scotland, England, north, south, east, west, all over. Lots of new faces, chatted with everybody, made loads of new friends that I still have. It was lovely. It was a gorgeous experience. And this year it's being held again.
Oh, great.
Definitely rush and buy your tickets, because this year it's on July the 15th to the 18th.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be vegan before you get there. You're welcome. Just be open-minded and join in.
And you said it's a camp. Is it a deaf camp, or is there hearing people as well?
Oh, yeah, it's open to everybody, deaf and hearing, but there's
Okay.
a really large deaf contingent there.
Where can we get more information?
You can have a look online. It's called Vegan Camp Out. So you can get information about the dates and all of that, the location. There's a map there. It's in Rugby this year. So if you're keen to go along, come join us.
Lewis, could you just add that information into your comments?
That
would be fantastic. Oh, there we've got it at the bottom. Thank you.
Hope to see you there, folks. Oh, there's lots of people there. There's loads of stalls there. There's so much food. There are lectures, all kinds of different talks in the evening. There's music. There's a disco. There's so much.
So why don't you and Shauna set something like that for BSL? It'd be fantastic. That could become something.
That's a thought. Are you coming, Avril?
And I'll definitely come and watch you in your stall and giving your lecture. It'd be fantastic. There's just one more question. Oh, no, two more. The first one is from Claire. And she's asking about energy levels. What's it like when you eat vegan? Are they the same, different? Are they less, more fatigued? Who wants to answer?
I'll go. I feel more energized. I've got more energy. When I ate meat, I used to it felt like it kind of weighed me down like a stone. And so I'd kind of sink, I feel much more alive. I feel much more energized. I feel more positive as well. I'm busier, I'm more active. I feel it's much better compared to when I used to eat meat, which I think is pretty interesting.
So interesting. Emma?
Exactly as James said, the same experience. I feel I have much more clarity of mind. I'm more able to think clearly. I've got more energy. I feel fitter. I sleep better. And also, there are big bodybuilders out there, weightlifters who are vegan. So they're managing to eat enough protein and manage their vitamin and mineral levels so that they can do that. I'm not going to be doing any weightlifting soon, but you can do. If you lead a healthy lifestyle, swimming, rugby, whatever, you can also be vegan.
And there's also, if you look at some Olympians, that they're vegan as well, so they follow a rigid diet that they manage. Lewis Hamilton, the F1 driver, he eats plant-based foods, and he's a professional Formula One driver. One has to be
that's right. That's right. And just to add to that, when you're talking about these Olympians, perhaps the most famous one is, this guy, right? Yep.
Mo Farah, yep.
Yeah, he's vegan. And how many medals has Mo won? I mean, so many. So perhaps he's the most famous vegan. He's not at the back of the pack. He's right at the front. So yeah, he's definitely
look at yourselves tonight. I mean, you've all had a day's work and you're still full of energy and you're still out there fighting the good fight. So you definitely have proved to me you've got lots of energy and you're such good role models for the deaf community out there. Yeah, each one of you have shared your own journey and your experience. So it really, this will be the last question, and this is from Carol. And the question is Avro now converted?
Are we asking today or tomorrow?
Well, you've seen the book that I showed earlier on. Well, this is my new cookbook. So I've not completely converted. I'm transition. I'm doing what Emma had suggested, taking a day a week, then building up, maybe try and build up to 1 week, 2 weeks. So my aim is that I'll be a convert by next year and I'll be one of the gang. And I'm sure Carol monitors me for the next year to make sure that I'm not doing anything that's against the rules. But I can't believe time, it's now over an hour again. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for being here for Veganuary, and to also our viewers at home. Try it, but you can go beyond January. You can continue to February. As everyone said today, just enjoy it, explore. I want to say thank you to the three of you for tonight. Thanks for sharing. It was so good, and all your lovely stories. So it's bye-bye from us all. Bye.
Bye.